Welcome. This Know Your Rights presentation will discuss marijuana legalization in the state of Illinois. We'll begin with a quick overview. In this presentation, we'll cover the history of legalization in Illinois, laws in other states across the country, possession and use laws in Illinois, discrimination issues, housing and employment, the expungement process, and criminal procedures related to marijuana. But first, a few disclaimers. This presentation is a resource for understanding cannabis-related laws, your legal rights, the expungement process, and more. However, it is not a definitive guide for navigating encounters with law enforcement. Your safety is always a top priority, and you are the expert on that. Next, we'll talk about the history of marijuana legalization in Illinois. In 2012, the city of Chicago decriminalized the possession of marijuana. In 2014, the state of Illinois legalized medical marijuana for a limited number of conditions. Between 2018 and 2019, the state of Illinois expanded eligibility for medical marijuana. Later, in 2019, Cook County announced that they would no longer prosecute simple possession of marijuana. Also in 2019, the state of Illinois legalized recreational marijuana while creating possession limits and other prohibitions. In 2020, Illinois implemented the legalization of recreational marijuana. Next, we'll discuss laws and regulations in other states. While recreational marijuana has been legalized in Illinois, you will see that laws vary on a state-by-state basis. While some states have legalized medical marijuana, other states have legalized neither medical nor recreational marijuana. Take a moment to check out the map and familiarize yourself with laws in other states. Now, we'll take a moment to discuss cannabis use and possession in Illinois. Let's begin with medical use and possession. Those who have a medical card may purchase up to 2.5 ounces or 70 grams of marijuana every 2 weeks. Eligibility includes a wide range of conditions, including chronic pain and PTSD. Medical marijuana card holders may only purchase from one dispensary. However, fingerprinting is no longer required. Card holders may also grow up to 5 plants in their home. For recreational use, you must be 21 years old with a government-issued ID to purchase cannabis. You must purchase from a licensed dealer. Under state law, you can legally purchase and possess up to 30 grams of cannabis, 5 grams of concentrate, or cannabis-infused products containing up to 500 milligrams. Non-residents can purchase or possess half of these amounts. Now, let's talk about what is still illegal. Although recreational marijuana use is legal, you can still be arrested for transporting cannabis into another state where it remains prohibited, be fined or ticketed for public use, be punished for growing marijuana at home, be arrested for driving after using cannabis, be barred by a landlord for smoking cannabis, and be evicted from public or subsidized housing for using cannabis. If you are a non-citizen, you should exercise caution before purchasing cannabis or working in the cannabis industry. Finally, let's cover a couple frequently asked questions. First, who can buy marijuana? People aged 21 and older can buy marijuana products from licensed sellers in Illinois with or without a medical card. Who can sell marijuana legally? Only licensed dispensaries may legally sell marijuana. As of recent, there were 55 licensed medical dispensaries that were approved to also sell marijuana for recreational use. Each of these dispensaries also gets a second recreational use license and are in the process of opening these locations. Where can I smoke legally? Smoking in residential units, such as apartments, houses, and condos, is subject to the discretion of the property owner. Tenants should check with their landlords. Smoking is permitted on-site at some cannabis-related businesses. However, use is prohibited in any public place, such as streets or parks, in any motor vehicle, and on school grounds, with the exception of medical marijuana users. Can I smoke in public housing? The Chicago Housing Authority has reminded public housing residents that federal law prohibits the use and possession of marijuana in federally subsidized housing. However, a policy update released in January 2020 indicates that each cannabis complaint would lead to a consideration of relevant facts on a case-by-case basis, and that CHA officials will work with residents, participants, applicants, and landlords to provide information and guidance in their efforts to exercise their rights under local law without jeopardizing their housing under federal law. Can I grow marijuana? Medical marijuana patients are allowed to grow 5 plants at a time. Non-medical marijuana patients are not allowed to grow marijuana at home, and doing so is punishable by a civil penalty of $200. What about driving under the influence? Illinois already has a law on the books that makes drivers with THC blood concentration of 5 nanograms or more per milliliter guilty of driving under the influence, regardless of whether the driver is impaired. The new law creates a DUI task force led by Illinois State Police to examine best practices for roadside testing. Let's move on to discuss marijuana use and possession in relation to employment and residence. Under Illinois law, both employers and landlords can prohibit marijuana use and may fire or evict based on that violation. If you hold a medical marijuana card, however, you may be entitled to reasonable accommodation under the ADA, and you should consult a lawyer if any issues emerge. Since the legalization of recreational marijuana, the state of Illinois has developed a process for expunging drug-related criminal records. For arrests and convictions of less than 30 grams of marijuana, expungements should be automatic, which applies to a projected 800,000 such cases. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office took proactive steps to begin this automatic process, while other counties did not. You should not have to pay for the expungement process, and almost every legal organization should be able to support you through the process. For arrests and convictions for between 30 and 500 grams, expungements may still occur, but the process is not automatic. For these offenses, you will be required to petition and make an argument for expungement. However, expungement may be unlikely if you have also been charged with a violent crime. Finally, pardons and clemencies are a good option for marijuana charges of greater amounts. On December 31st, Governor Pritzker pardoned more than 11,000 people convicted of low-level marijuana offenses. Lastly, let's discuss criminal procedures related to marijuana use and possession. If you are being stopped by police related to use or possession, you may ask, "Am I free to go?" If yes, you may walk away. If no, or the officer does not respond, you may indicate that you will not talk and that you want your lawyer. You should always indicate that you do not consent to searches. Understand that laws around use and possession continue to evolve in the state of Illinois. That concludes this presentation on marijuana legalization in the state of Illinois. Thank you for joining, and stay tuned for more presentations and workshops from the Westside Justice Center.